you. Thank you.
Hello, hi. Welcome to Wonder Slut. This is Rebecca Crosby. I'm with Jyoti Lohman. Am I saying that right?
You sure are.
Okay, she is the founder of Beauty,
The Beauty Way.
the Beauty Way.
Yeah.
Okay, Jyoti, if you want to just introduce yourself however you want.
Yes. I'm the founder of The Beauty Way. So I created a premium ingredient, effective formulas mixed with daily affirmations to invite a purposeful pause, a reconnection to self, crossing over your heart, protecting your vital organs, giving yourself a hug, using the products is one of the most important, easy, science based return to yourself that we can do. And so I wanted to create products as sort of the vehicle for you to be reminded, but it's really about being open to receive and quieting the mind and creating that purposeful pause to, um, bring that peace back into here and stay in here and out of here.
Yep, she's pointing at her heart and not her brain.
Yeah.
So this is so fascinating to me. I know nothing. I'm sure you know that. Like I go in cold turkey in interviews because I want to be surprised. And
And we
when
said nothing on our like, it was like, I think that was literally, I think we grunted a few times and went, talk to you later.
I know I got off, I was like, well, we didn't say much, but I'm so excited. So I do this vibe check with podcast guests when people reach out to me just to make sure like I feel like we're gonna have a good public conversation. And so when you and I met, I was like, oh, it's a yes.
Yeah.
Within like a few seconds, I'm like, this is gonna be a great conversation. I don't need to ask you any questions. So when I started like coming back to myself, right, and understanding like how we're built in our bodies, we're meant to be like embodied, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize all of these tricks and hacks that are coming out in beauty, like this lymphatic brushing that I have for my face, is all about taking time to connect with your body, right?
Yep.
And I realized that I was rushing through all the things, putting cream on my face and scrubbing my body with the loofah and just, taking these really quick showers and just being efficient. Like it was just something that I had to do that was bothersome. And then when you slow down and you get in your body, you realize that, oh my God, I am built for slowness. That's what
Yes.
gets the wrinkles out of your face is like connecting with your body and loving on yourself and feeling all the things. Now I wash with my hands and I'm looking at myself in the mirror when I put products on and I'm like, you're divinely protected and guided. I love you so much and all the
Yep.
things. So tell me how you got there.
So I have I'm so fortunate, I'll say, to begin, is that my mother is very much like that. So, when I was born, my name is a Sanskrit word that means inner light, so that I would always remember my light. So we're starting there.
Okay, so your mother is a fucking hippie, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yes. But she's like a real luxe hippie. So she's like, give me all the good stuff and all the pretty stuff, but let's do it. Let's do it deep. Let's make sure that we're, I call her lipstick hippie. So, I was getting a facial at 6, but also my Reiki degree. So, having my colors done, but, meditating in Mount Shasta with the Ascended Masters. So she was sort of incredible in the way that she is such a seeker, and she wasn't raised that way, but she's such a seeker that she had this path that she was carving out for herself. And we also had some very stressful. My brother, who's now passed away, was born with a congenital heart condition, and there were some major stresses as when I was growing up. And she had the connection to herself and the intuition to really prioritize self-care. And that was like not a thing in the 80s. It was all the people who had lost themselves and they were on Oprah going, I'm, the martyr thing was very popular, right? And she was very much like, I need to move my body. I need to sit in silence. I need to get my hair done. I need to get my nails done. I need to go walk. I need to be in nature. I need to ground. So she was this sort of incredible role model of showing me how to pour into yourself when it wasn't a buzzword.
Wow.
In very stressful the most stressful situations you can go through. And I always felt like she showed up 1,000% for us, but also herself. So I had this beautiful role model of that. And then when I had children, I was like, oh, I'm tired. My body looks different. My organs are up here. All the different things. And it sort of brought all this beauty that I had loved, because I worked in upscale fashion and visual direction. So I love beauty around me. And that's nature. That's good conversations. That's heart-centered people. That's an uncluttered home, all of these elements of beauty, which is what the Beauty Way means, is walking in divine connection with yourself and around you. So it's a Navajo concept that just kind of nailed what I want this brand to feel like and look like, and make you, a warm hug. So I had all these kind of things. And then I had my daughter, and she was about a year, and I had a 3-year-old and 1-year-old, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and it was amazing. And then there was this kind of call, the creative part of me, there was this call to create something. And it was just sort of this natural progression of, 1, I need to take a shower. 2, I need to speak kindly to myself. I think the conversations with ourselves is the most important one.
Yes.
So I had this idea to create these clean, non-toxic, effective luxury products, but also pair them with a moment of calm and a mantra. So literally on the products, I don't know if you can see, you can't because it's blurred, but there you go. On the products, everything has a mantra. So as you're using them, it's the little signal to say, I'm in the shower, I'm doing the wash, my body washes, my actions align with my heart's desire. Simple, but profound to go, hey, are my actions aligning with what I want to create? And this, and creating that space for yourself and that quiet time, because we are optimized. Everything is optimized. The 5-minute makeup routine, how do we get it faster? All the things. And so when I created this, 4 years ago, now 4 or 5 years ago, I'm tapping into the slow. I'm tapping into the reconnection. I'm tapping into the consistent, small habits that add up to the true self-love, because it's connecting these two. And so that was the sort of me needing that, and then really wanting to share that. And then, found a woman I love. I want to be married to a man, but everything else I want women. So I can't hear you.
Oh, I don't know why.
There. Okay. So I found a woman-owned lab, and she was someone who is a master chemist, who really knew how to work with really natural ingredients. And so we worked together to create these formulas that are really beautiful for your skin, with really premium ingredients. And so it's those two together. Yeah. Again, it's that, I call it body and soul care. So that was sort of the journey there. And then, it was something that I really need, and something that my mom really taught me about. And as I was postpartum, I really realized that connection was so powerful. And even as my children are older now, that purposeful pause is the thing that gets me through all of the stressful things, the news, the ding dongs on our phone constantly. We're so reachable. So that's my piece. And I love that it's a product because it's tactile.
Yes.
Right? It's not a concept. It's like you take the product, you nurture,
yes,
you speak kindly, and I watch my body let go.
Yes.
I feel my heart open.
Yes.
So that's sort of the origin story.
God, that's gorgeous. I love what you said about we are optimized. I feel that when I first moved to Texas like 3.5 years ago, is walking in the park, taking time to walk and swing every day, and I felt so much guilt about taking an hour out of my day to unplug and just walk in nature and move my body and pray
Hmm.
and cry and whatever it was that I felt the need to do. And
Love
I
all
was,
those things.
why are we being extracted almost consistently? And we've allowed ourselves to be extracted. And I just came up with that word, but I fucking love that. That's how
Yeah.
I felt. Like, you're going to drain me dry of every drop of life that I have if I allow you to, because nobody's going to carve out space for you. My kids were calling me constantly when I was swinging, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm on do not disturb. Don't, and I had to like put serious blocks on my phone. Like, you can be without me for a fucking hour. They're 13
Yeah.
and 15. Like, you're
Yep.
fine. You know where to find me if it's an emergency, but
Right.
what are we doing to ourselves? So why are we
Ri-
so like, here, take every drop of life that I have
Every drop.
for you, when we can't control any fucking body else but ourselves?
Well, and it's being it's creating those boundaries though, or and I don't even know if they have to be boundaries. I just think it's for me, it's letting my support system know what I need
Yep.
because they also don't always know, and people are so dependent. I have a 5 and an 8-year-old, so I'm still like
Oh, you're in it.
I'm in it. I'm snacks and
Yeah.
all the things. One of the things I do on Sunday is it's on the family calendar that I do a reset bath with my soak. And that mantra is I'm open to receive all the good that life has to offer. I'm open to receive. And so I've just learned to build those times into my schedule because that's how I consistently do it. And it doesn't feel very, in the flow, but we can't be in the flow because there's too many demands. We're too reachable. So having really building that in and making it part of just like you would build in going to the grocery store or picking up your kids or whatever, it's building in that time and space for yourself
Mhm.
because you're not going to get it otherwise. And we're like extracted and we can't, this isn't sustainable,
Mm-mm.
especially for mothers who want to do it all. I don't
Mhm.
even know that we're supposed to do it all. I want to do it all. I love my business. I love being with my family. I am a friend. I do love to be social. I want to be a great daughter. I do want to do all these things. I do want it all.
Mm. Yep.
But we are so obsessed with being present with our kids and so obsessed with being present in our career. We've completely become unpresent with ourselves.
Mhm.
So that the beauty way is just an invitation and a reminder for presence with ourselves. And it's simple, but extremely hard.
Yes. Oh, it makes me so sad that it's so hard. As I was
It's
like
so hard.
yesterday, even thinking when I lived in New Orleans, I would go to the gym and do yoga, and that felt acceptable to me. But
Yeah.
walking in nature by my damn self, where I'm unreachable for an hour, does not feel acceptable. So,
Well, because the gym is part of that whole thing we're supposed to do.
right, you're optimizing your body or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's
I
weird.
love that you went swinging. That is like, I mean, talk about nurturing your inner child.
Oh my God. It is like the great, I don't know why everybody doesn't do it. I don't want them to do it because then the park will be full of people. I'm like, I love that. It's just my thing. Nobody, and if people are there, I am totally zoned out. I have my earbuds in. I'm not, but it moves energy through your body. So you're healing your nervous system simultaneously. You're singing in nature. I get to hear birds. And yesterday I watched a squirrel, and these birds have like this full on war. It was so entertaining. I'm like, man, I would have missed this whole exchange had I not been sitting in this park. Like,
It's
it's
so powerful,
so powerful.
but also so simple.
I know. So simple.
This is not, you didn't buy a ticket for $350 and it's just that's that presence with ourselves and presence with the world around us. And And that's I feel like what like body care is. It's just this simple thing. You don't have to rehaul your life. You can start today of just taking that moment. You could start small if you don't normally do it. I just think it's like you don't need a vibration plate. You don't need 16 supplements. And wellness has gotten actually kind of complicated, right? It's like, how do I add more to the routine? And I don't think we can handle it. I have to eat so much protein. I have to drink so much water.
Yes, it's obnoxious the amount of protein we're supposed to eat. I'm like, who eats that much? That's gross.
How are you even getting that?
I know.
And so I'm just like, when I created this and it wasn't yet, as culturally acceptable, slow living, but that is the whole goal for me. I'm just like soft, slow, intentional, connected, and all the other things start to flow around that when you have that center.
Yep.
And it's been such a powerful thing to also build a business with that philosophy, because we talk about hustle and burnout. And I do hustle in the sense that I'm so obsessed with what I'm doing and what I want to share that I wake up excited about it.
Sure.
But not in a burnout way, in a way that like, this is working for me and I want you to know about it because you're also worthy of this softness.
Don't you think? I think the language of like it being expansive versus contracting your spirit is like,
yes.
How do I feel in this moment? Is it lighting me up? Is it giving me life, or is it depleting me? And if you can
I
like
love the expansive.
those, yes, because then it removes the judgment too. It's not good and bad. It's just expansive or contraction. You have the choice of how you want to show up, but it's so about your mindset. It's so fascinating.
It's so fascinating. And I love that expansive. Because it's like this, you should do this to do this to do this. And it's really
should be about what really works for you, what really resonates for you. But I think we can't, sorry. It's hard to figure that out unless we take a moment to.
You have to sit with yourself.
You have to sit with yourself. You have to sit with yourself. And I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people is to sit with yourself. But you just start doing it with like the swinging and you go, oh, wow, this works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost so much weight when I moved here. And it wasn't because I was like on this special diet. It was.
We are.
Down. Now we're live again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I lost so much weight when I moved here because my cortisol levels dropped dramatically because my body totally changed just by swinging. And they're like, "What are you doing, Rebekah? Are you eating?" I'm like, "I eat what I want, I drink what I want, but I spend an hour in nature on a swing." And it changed my life, and I'm so fucking happy. It was so simple.
I mean, it's so simple, but so powerful. So you moved I'm so interested. So where'd you move from?
New Orleans. I lived in New Orleans for 26 years.
And now you're in Central Texas, so you've got some nice land around you and some nice nature around you.
You can see my garden outside. I have this huge garden and peach trees and apricot trees.
Oh, I love it.
And chickens. It's gorgeous.
You did a whole life change.
I did. I'm like, I don't even recognize myself. I told my sister this morning, I said, living in the country is like night and day. I'm like hugging trees. I'm barefoot all the time. I'm in my garden in my work boots and my bikini with a straw hat on. Like, that's my life.
Living the dream.
It's so fun. I know. It is so fun. Totally changed my life.
Oh
I'm
my
so glad
gosh.
that I did it before my kids left. So now they can see this. I'm emulating to them what it looks like to just be slow and live your life.
Well, I think that's such a powerful thing too. I think a lot of the times we think we have to kind of do either or, we're, and I think that I love to think that I take my kids along with the journey of me building this business. And so, when I celebrate something, I let them know. And we're both doing new things for the first time. And we all talk about how, like, we got to practice. We're not just good at something right away. And so I'm actually doing a lot of this stuff now where I'm learning how to build this business, and they're learning, stuff in school or swim team. And we talk a lot about, like, when you want something, you have to stay focused and you have to practice, and you're not always good at it, but it helps you, to figure out what you are good at and what lights you up and what's important to you. And so we're both kind of doing this, like, simultaneous, like, with each other, this growing of a business, and their growing of who they are. So I get to build this, like what you're saying, next to them and with them,
Yes.
instead, right? I get to emulate what it is to be in the flow, be connected to what lights you up, and also be a great mom and a great person and all these different things. And I don't have any guilt. I think, like, how fortunate that these things can coexist.
Yes.
And that I can have presence with myself and teach them what my mom taught me. I mean, that was profound in the 80s for her to be doing that.
You were very, very blessed to have that as a role model.
Really.
So where was your dad in the middle of?
So my dad is, it's interesting. I talk a lot about my mom because she's such a part of the ethos of the brand, but my dad is the whole reason that I'm completely delulu and think that I can do anything I want and be incredibly successful.
But it turns out you're not delusional because you keep manifesting great shit. So, I love that.
I'm a manifesting mofo. I am a manifesting motherfucker. I need that shirt.
Two fucking incredible parents.
He was a big fan of Joseph Campbell, this philosopher who's very much about following your bliss and staying connected to that, and things will show up. And he was like, look, you can do whatever you want. Show up, give them a good handshake and look them in the eye. But you, my dear, world's your oyster.
Oh my God.
I had this, this powerful spiritual connection. And then I had this fire of saying, like, girl, light it up, and I'm going to support you. So every step of the way was sort of these two people that were like, it's truly why I'm just kind of delusional. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I could be a stay-at-home mom and then have my products at Miraval, and, absolutely, I can do whatever I want.
I love that for you. Do you have siblings?
So I lost my brother.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
So he passed when he was 20. I was 13. That was a big challenge, right, for the whole family. My parents were, so here's a fun story though about my brother. So my parents got pregnant with my brother. They had him. They got divorced. They were like, yeah, not so much. My brother went to my parents and said, they're divorced. He said, I'd like a sister. And they're like, okay, well, we're divorced. And they're kooky, and was like, oh, okay. So they get back together, don't get married, have me, I'm born. And then they're like, wait, no, this doesn't work. But
still no, it's still a no.
it's a hard no, actually. But bless his heart, like, didn't know, obviously on some intuitive level, knew that he wouldn't be here for the long term. He had a very serious heart condition, but was able to usher me in, nailed it. Like, I'd like a sister. And it's an incredibly special bond that the three of us, shared to know him, because I think those people that leave the earth early are enlightened in a way that we don't
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So, he was such an incredible, special person. And my kids are very connected to him. We talk about Uncle Ryan a lot. He's our guardian angel. I mean, he's brought up so often. They have that, I feel like the kids are so close to the veil. They don't have all of the
Programming.
fears and programming. So and I don't either. I feel like I'm not a clairvoyant. I don't see anything, but I'm just very clear on that connection,
Mhm.
that spirit connection. So they're very connected to him, and he's very much in our lives in that way. But I thank him for asking my divorced parents to bring me into the world. And I
And
think
they went for it. I love it. That is such a great story.
I'm
I
like,
love it.
you guys are bizarre. They
Oh, I love it. The weirder, the better.
so weird. And so they had me, and then hard no. Just as partners, they weren't great partners, but they've been incredible parents. And I think that, again, I've had this, my dad's very much like of a mover and a shaker. I'm like, girl, give him a good handshake. And then my mom just taught me how to really love myself. And my dad taught me how to take that love for myself and turn it into action.
Mm.
So I hope I'm doing that for my kids. No big deal. No pressure.
I'm sure you are. I mean, I just feel it all over you. And I'm wondering, so do you know anything about the Enneagram?
I'm a 3.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm an 8. I feel like 3s are so much more focused on their careers, and 8s are like, I don't know, I feel totally scattered in all the ways. Like I don't have that like need to perform drive
Mhm.
that 3s
Mhm.
do,
Yes.
I just know that I'm just big. I got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I think my 3 energy, I'm a 3 birthday also. And so the 3 is, and this is not Enneagram because that's just the 3, but the 3 energy, right, is really much about creativity, and it's like spirit. It's the Holy Trinity. So I
Mhm.
can get very scattered because I'm like, I can do it all. I can do it all. I can do everything.
Yes.
But the 3, I think the achiever in me is it is a powerful part of my personality. But I think the embedded spirituality and the connection to my higher self, and having the loss that I experienced at such a young age has, because the 3 can be a little, too driven and too materialistic, and, some of those things that are on that hustler side. And I think the life experience and the parents that I was given and the loss that I experienced created this balance of knowing what's important, but having that drive and that focus to create something big.
God, what a gift.
So, because I'm big that way, I truly think like I can do whatever I want,
Yeah.
and
I don't see why not. Why can't we?
so much of that is about service.
Yeah.
Is about sharing with women, like how to stay connected to yourself and how to have a little bit of that delulu.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you found you found a man, you're married, right?
Yes, that's a fun story too.
Okay. Well, I would love to hear that. I often feel like I'm too much for someone. I haven't met anyone that can like match my energy yet.
Um, you know, my mom used to feel that way too. She's also a big energy. I'm a big energy, but you absolutely, there's a really strong, confident man gets that kind of energy. I mean, the funny story is that 13 years ago we met on eHarmony when that was a thing, and I had signed up like kind of as a joke. I never actually paid for it. It was in the trial time, and he was my second date, and he walked up and took my breath away, and I was like, I'm marrying this guy. And consequently, on our third date, I was like, we're getting married this year. And
You told
yeah. And our first date, I was like, what's your last name? Do you want to have kids? Tell me about your house. And I said to him, look, I'm super forward. I've got nothing to lose.
And he
Nothing.
loved it.
I looked at him. I said, we're getting married this year. And he just kissed me. And we were married that year. We met February 9th. I told him we were getting married February 15th. We got engaged May 31st. We got married September 21st. It'll be 13 years this year.
And you still like him?
I adore him. He's the reason he is the reason, he's the new reason, meaning not my parents, because they're the foundation, but he's the current reason I can be big and I can dream and I can, stay a manifesting motherfucker because I've got someone who not only delusionally believes in me the way I do, but from a pragmatic day to day, he's an incredible partner. And just shows up and shows up and shows up and shows up. And I think that he's just, I've always thought, not that things are always good, right? There's things are up and down, but he's that long haul. He is in it to win it. And in the best way, not to cover up anything if it wasn't working, but just like, we chose each other and I'm excited about it and we're going to do this.
I love that.
So, yeah.
What number is he on the Enneagram?
He's a 3 also, which is so interesting because we are so different. As extroverted as I am, he's much more an introvert. I'm a fast processor. Everything about me is fast. Mm-hmm. That's why when I'm like, yeah.
No, same.
I'm matching your energy, girl. Because he's very much of a slower processor. He's like steady Eddie, super consistent. I'm like,
that looks like a great idea. Let's go over here.
Shiny, but he's such a good match for me. And I think the same thing with him is that I keep, and he's a big dreamer too, but we're very different. But it was so interesting to me that we were the same Enneagram. I found that very, very interesting because I don't think we're very similar, but we have so much of foundational stuff that, like life goals, foundational stuff that we really match. But you've been married though, because you have the 2 kids.
I have. I've been married twice. And, I just didn't know myself. I was a Southern Baptist preacher's daughter who was taught to be a people pleaser.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I've struggled with those 2 sides of myself my whole life. I got married because I felt like it was time. And, there was this guy, he had a career and, we had enough in common. Yeah. It didn't work. And then the second one was, I was so ready to be a mom because that was in my programming. I think I was 30, maybe 31 when I got married the second time. Had my kids, started a business, and then realized I am doing circles around him, and I can't. Yeah. So we were not a good match either. And now I'm like, I've been single for 10 years.
Do you follow or do you know about Jen Hatmaker? I feel like she has a very...
Yes, love her.
Love her. She's so amazing. She has a very kind of not similar story, but just some of that early programming that I think your parents are trying to do a service for you, but it's a disservice with all of the programming, with the organized religion and, all of that stuff. And then you have to kind of unlearn all these things that you learned for so many years. And I love how she's able to talk about that, but I'm sure you can resonate with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you didn't have any of that growing up? You weren't in organized religion or anything?
No, again, another very interesting thing. My parents were very, I think we had we had a picture of Jesus as the actual dark Jesus.
Right.
Not the blonde one with blue eyes.
Looked right.
Yeah. But next to a happy Buddha. And so my parents told me that Buddha and Jesus were best friends and brothers, and they practiced love. They were wild. They were like conscious
I'm
parents.
so jealous of that you were like given that story from the get-go. I mean, how beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool. They were very, I remember having even like some like of the Indian deities, like Krishna would be like a picture above our washer and dryer. And, you know, there was just very, like the tooth fairy gave me crystals. Um,
Of course he did.
so some very kind of unique ways of growing up. And so I didn't ever have, and my dad was raised very Baptist,
Okay.
and he was like, I don't think so.
I love that. I love that. Oh my
um,
God.
you know, and always was very much taught to connect with faith and something outside of and bigger than myself, but it was not the typical, you know, Christian path. It was much more about love, connection, and that Jesus and Buddha were teachers, and that they were not above us, but connected to us.
Oh, I
So
landed on that idea about 3 years ago. I
yeah.
remember when I discovered that they used Jesus as a political weapon and made him a savior for political reasons. And I sobbed like a baby. What the fuck have I believed my whole life? And why? I was
And
so
why?
angry.
Well, look at what's going on right now.
I, I don't know. Don't tell me. I don't watch the news. My nervous system cannot handle it. I just
I
check
just
out.
mean the like Christian nationalism stuff.
Oh, I know. I know.
I don't
Man.
know what's going on either, but just I mean that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
But
lot of fear.
yeah, it's a lot of fear. And I think, you know, when we believe in ourselves and love ourselves and surround ourselves with people that support and love us, I mean, to me, that's like that's our superpower, and so much of it is the opposite, and being in fear and all of that. So, I love that you landed on that even 3 years ago, because you know, better late than never, and you can impart some of those ideas and connect with your kids on those things, because I do think faith is very important.
Oh, yeah.
um, it just needs to be the kind of faith that you really truly resonate with, and some people like all the stories. I'd rather um, have the connection
Yeah.
and and do the right thing, right? Like those are the things for me. That's like what I like to teach my kids about that faith, and that you know there's lots of one wax many molds. You know, you've got all the different sort of leaders of any of these higher religions, and they're all really supposed to be um, this man that is bringing things together and connecting and loving, and that's like what that all means to me, because that's what I was taught. And so I didn't have to unlearn anything, which was, I realize as an adult, very powerful.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this just landed on me. I'm an Enneagram 8. I am a rebel at heart, like have been my whole life. But 3 years
Yeah.
ago, I was 47, 46 years old before I was able to undo that completely in my brain. Like, how deep is that programming? And I'm a
Yeah.
determined motherfucker, you know? I don't give a
You
shit
are.
what people are doing. And it took me that long. I mean, so can
Yeah.
you blame other people that are still so steeped in it when they have their lives are like neat and tidy, you know, they have their careers and their marriages and you know, everything feels very comfortable to them and we're asking them to step out of that into the unknown, which is terrifying. Their nervous systems aren't built for that. They're living in this
It's
like
so
busy
true.
life. Yeah. So of course they're still stuck in Christian
It's so true.
nationalism. Of course. So, and
Yeah,
they're
because it's
compliant. Most
comfortable.
people are compliant. Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
want to change their
It's
life.
so true.
That's why I do not have a lot of close friends because they don't like being challenged.
It's so true. And it's a really nice, compassionate, and empathetic way to really look at why people are doing some of the things they're doing on all kinds of levels. It's scary. And also, if you weren't raised with that foundation to trust yourself or what you're
Right.
actually thinking, and there is so much programming, it really is an uncomfortable place to be, to
Yeah.
take to change all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our need to
Yeah.
belong is really, really intense. And if we
I
don't
mean, it's
have a safety net, we're not going to change our lives. If we're not thrown out of our safety net, we're not going to change.
well, and there's so, yeah, it's so true. I mean, it's a what's the word? It's not primordial. What's the word I'm thinking? It's primal to
Yeah.
want to belong and to be in a community and to feel seen and to feel heard. Um, and so I think when we get around people that, yeah, we've got this kind of like-minded, it really, it's how we feel loved and connected and seen. And if that's been the way that you've always grown up, but it's amazing how many people are seekers and do, like yourself, kind of say, I've done this, but actually something feels like, what happened for you that you decided to go, okay, this actually isn't working? Because that's a huge thing.
Yeah. I mean, my first divorce was pretty jarring for me. I went to church and people were telling me that God hates divorce. And I knew that I was miserable for 3 years. Miserable in my marriage, crying, trying to reconcile that I was supposed to stay in this marriage for the rest of my life, and I was fucking miserable. And then you go to church that is supposed to be a place of love and compassion and acceptance, and they're telling you, here's books on how to save your marriage. And here's some little notes that you can leave for your husband to flirt with him and save your marriage. I'm like, we have intense abuse happening. This is not like love notes stick on sticky pads are not going to fix my marriage. Like
No.
the stupidest shit people said to me. And I'm a 28-year-old woman, I
Yeah.
had no idea. So that was really jarring to me. And I found the church was not a safe place when I went through a divorce. So my secular friends, that's what we called them, people that
Mhm.
didn't go to church and didn't know Jesus as their savior, were secular. And they were my safe space. They showed up for me. No questions, no judgment. We want you to be okay. That was just
Yeah.
baseline. And my family did that for me. They weren't judgmental, but the church family as a whole was very scary. And so that was that kind of threw me into this, what the fuck has religion done to people? Like, this doesn't feel right to me. And then you realize that everybody has Christians are so arrogant and um had this moral superiority about them that I have the way and you're lost. So I'm
Right.
just going to pray for you because you don't have it figured out. So everybody in the Christian world treated me like I was less than because I had been divorced. And I was like, that didn't feel right to me either. And then it was awful. I was given all these mental diagnoses. They put me on all these pills. It just felt wrong. And then my son almost died when he was 10 months old. That was like 13 years ago. And that threw me into another realm of,
Yeah.
oh my God, what is life about? What am I doing? How do I
Yeah.
function as a sovereign being and trust myself and listen and block out all the noise and the nonsense of people and their hands in my life trying to tell me what to do and dictate all the things. And finally I was like, I met this therapist. I had no idea she was an energy healer, and she did Reiki on me. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then
Amazing.
you go down that rabbit hole. You're like,
Yeah.
we're just energy. What are we doing? It's
Yes.
fascinating. So definitely I had lots of people in my path that were pushing me to wake up to my own sovereignty. But
And you were seeking that without even, being conscious of it, because these things started to show up when you're ready.
yeah. And I
Right.
really think, in fact, I woke up at 3:30 this morning and did this deep dive on like your nervous system has to be ready to receive truth because our bodies will not allow it because you can't flood them with all this newness. We're not built to handle all of that. So it has to trickle in. So
Yeah. And I think that the person that we can lie the most to is ourselves.
yes. Yes.
Like
It's so uncomfortable, isn't it?
it's really uncomfortable, but I think that we are the the person that we like to ourselves the most. And so having that calmer nervous system and being able to have that space with yourself is like
Yes.
when the truth can come in, even when it's uncomfortable and even if it's hard, because I think when you're connected back to yourself, you know that you can do whatever it is that you need to do to get to that next place when you're seeking that peace. But I think you have to be available for truth. And that seems so simple, like, oh, we don't lie to ourselves, but we do
All the time.
all the time. And in so many different ways about who we are and all these different things. And I think about that all the time, you know, when I'm doing anything, I just really try to be like, is this the truth for me? You know, and for me though, not society,
Right.
not what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
All those things. And I check in a lot with myself, especially as I'm building this business and there's more demands and I get more successful. You know, it's like, it's interesting. Like the more successful I've gotten in these bigger accounts and these resorts that I'm in, I'm getting more, it makes me more soft and more humbled. Like nothing makes, it's like not going to my head, it's going to my heart.
That is a daily practice.
That is a daily practice.
Like some daily practices to
Yeah.
nail it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like, my heart feels like bursting that I get to be doing what I get to be doing and sharing and, just in that gratitude. And I think that that's one of the most important ways to shift too, is just to, not that everything's perfect, but to be grateful for the things like your garden, you know, all these little things. And again, it's all these buzzwords like, oh, gratitude, but like as a practice and as a lifestyle, it really is like, you really don't need all the stuff, like the toys to get yourself to be wellness. Wellness is this comfortability with who you are in an honest space. And I don't think, I think I was taught that, but I don't think we're taught that.
No.
I don't think people say like, you should be a doctor and also be comfortable in your skin and love yourself. And but you don't have to be, I love aging because you do get more in that way, but I don't think women should have to be 40 to start feeling comfortable in their skin.
I know.
Or not giving a fuck. Like we should be, and I think that these new generation of kids are really coming in with some real power and some real connection to who they are. And these boys get to be soft and they get to be emotional and they get to be connected to how they feel.
I know.
And these women get to be comfortable with their power. And again, it was something that I have always felt really comfortable. I was asking my best friend who's known me since middle school, and we were talking about people pleasing. I go, did I like learn how to be this way, or was I like a people? I'm not now. Was I a people pleaser like in middle school and high school? And she just started cackling. No. I go, okay, I didn't know if it was a journey or I just started out that way. She goes, oh no.
I love that for you. What a gift you are to the world. Okay, before we end this, I don't want to end this. This is like the greatest conversation, but you have a stalker for life, and I'm also buying some of your products because I have some beef tallow in the crock pot right now. I'm making some body cream.
I love that.
So that's real fun. But I feel like another piece of this, when you first got on here and you were talking about what you did, I thought beauty is, you cannot put a price tag on it. It doesn't matter whether you're buying a jar of cream for $1,000 or $10. Like, it's the light of the creator wants to be expressed in whatever this thing is. And money is irrelevant. It is an energy source. It is not, and we like live in this society where we just like value everything based on money. And it's just about, does it bring you joy? Does this light you up? Are you expressing the light of the creator by wearing that fancy fucking outfit and those $1,000 shoes or whatever it is? Like, and if you are, nail it. fuck out of it and let everybody else around you eat up that energy of just pure beauty and love.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
I love what you're doing. It warms my heart to know that people in the world are doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I feel grateful every single second to be able to talk about it um, and be doing something that is I'm so obsessed with and so in my heart, and that I get these messages from people who are so overwhelmed and took a moment to nurture themselves and totally shifted their evening. Or on the product side, little girls who have eczema that they're, bleeding in between their fingers. And this is the only cream that's been able to like soothe these little girls. And, I just get these wild stories of a lot of just stressed out people from, losing jobs or doing, whatever we have going on, and just them simply taking a moment for themselves and feeling that love. And I'm like, done. That's it. And my little girl, loves to take a beauty way bath, but she does her mantras and my son does their mantras. And she'll say to me, I just love myself.
Love it. Oh my God.
Mommy, you're so good at the beauty way. And I just love myself. And I go, my work here is done.
Yes. He's the next president of the United States. Thank you very
Yes.
much. You are raising her currently.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. Oh my God. I love it. Okay. Tell us where to find you on all the things.
Yeah, you can find me on my website, The Beauty Way Co. So thebeautywayco.com. I'm also on Instagram, and you can hear more of how I created the products and more of my story. And that is at thebeautyway_co.
Okay.
And then if you're in Austin or in Texas, there's a lot of in real life experiences. We didn't really get much into that, but I create these signature experiences for resorts. Maybe we talked about it, where breath work is involved, sound healing, and then using all of the products and using some of the different ancient traditions that I found in my world travels, ingredients and experiences that I found in Morocco and Bali and Thailand and these different places before I brought everything together. At the Thompson Hotel, the Fairmont, proper here in Austin, and coming soon, Miraval here in Austin. So some really beautiful resorts where the treatments are meant to be just an absolute warm hug, a sensorial love affair with who you are, and also glowing skin.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. What a great conversation.
Thank you so much, Rebekah. It was an absolute pleasure. I knew it would be. I saw you on Instagram and I'm like, this is my girl. And I love your big energy and your 8 energy and all the things. And what a gift you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, stalker for life. Okay. Don't go anywhere. Hang on. Bye. I'm getting off of TikTok. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?